Hey Jonathan, this is our bread video. So we are ready to go. So let's see, Stan has made some starter. I'm gonna flip the camera so you can see what I'm talking about. We have our starter. So Stan fed it and it'll foam up a little bit. This has stopped foaming and gone back to at rest. And it can go in the fridge. But you take the starter and you mix it according to the directions. So you got your bread flour, you have your starter, and you have, well, you just have to look at the recipe. But anyway, this is the second step. So after you mix all that together, you let it sit in a bowl. And no, don't use any metal. So everything has to be plastic or wood, but no metal. So you can see how we do ours. We just have a big bowl, and we put one of these little thin cutting board things on the top. So there it is. So this has been sitting here. Hey Stan, how long has this been here?
This morning.
Since this morning. That's kind of a random number. It is now 7:40. So I would say it's probably been here for about 6 or 7 hours. Oh, he says 12 hours. There you have it. He did that early. But this is what it should look like. You can see it's got some little air bubbles in there, and that's good. So the next thing we're going to do is we wash our hands and you deflate it. So when he made this, you mix it all together. It says to put it in a different bowl, but I never do that. I just like hold it to the side and then spray it with Pam. And then I'll put it to the other side and spray it. And then I spray the top of it. And then you cover it and let it sit for 6 to 8 hours. So after it's risen once, then when you punch it down, that's what it looks like. The next step is this will make 3 loaves. So you could make 3 bread loaves, or you can make, each bread loaf will make 12 rolls. So we like rolls better than loaves. So 12 will fit in here, and then, so this is like 2 of those. So you can put 24 rolls in that size and 12 rolls in this size. So if you want to do bread loaves, you can make 3 loaves. Or if you want to do rolls, you can make 36 rolls, or any combination of that. You can make 1 loaf and 24 rolls, however you want to do it. But that's kind of what this amount will make. So the next step is to split this into 3 pieces. And since I'm doing rolls, then I'll split each section into 12 rolls and roll them up. So I'm going to adjust my camera here. Let's see if we can set it up right there. All right. So I just take it. I'm not real, like, just basically do it. You can be real, like, if you want to cut it into exactly this size, but that is more or less 3 different pieces, 3 balls. So then each one of these now is going to be 12 dinner rolls. So I spray our pans. And I split it again, so then I make 6 out of this one and 6 out of this one. So it's just easier. And for me to make rolls, I kind of take them and kind of push my thumbs into the bottom of them. And so that kind of makes it sort of flat on top, and the bottom doesn't look quite so good, but you don't see the bottom, so it's okay. Sorry. So I split it into 2, right? So this one needs to make 6, and this one needs to make 6. So let's restart that. I was like, that does feel pretty big. So this is This was 1, so we split into 2. Each of these lumps has to make 6 rolls. So I'm going to split this one into half again. There we are. Now 3 rolls, 3 rolls. Now we're set. It's like, that's a really big roll. I don't remember them being that big. So, one more time. I kind of pull them down right like that to form my roll. Set it in there. And I'm going to pause it because you just keep doing that over and over and over. So when you get to the next one, again, so you'll do 3 and 3. Alright, I'm going to pause it while I make some more of these. We'll just go through that one more time. So we split that whole bunch into 3 pieces. One of those pieces I've already made into 12 rolls. And then here's the other 2 pieces. So these will each make 12. So the way I get to 12 is I take one and I split into half. So this is 6 and 6. So this is 3 rolls, 3 rolls, 3 rolls, 3 rolls, and then I start making my 3. And that kind of helps you get more or less the same size roll. And again, I just kind of pull it down from the top and crunch it up on the bottom. And they're kind of like the size of one of those little munchkins, like the donut holes that you get at Dunkin' Donuts or Krispy Kreme. Maybe a little bit bigger. I don't know. So then you know that each one of these pieces will make 3 bread rolls. And if some end up a little smaller, you can say, oh, this one's small. You can grab a little bit of dough from one that looks like it ended up a little bit bigger. So when you're doing all this, like tearing it apart and forming your little rolls, that does help remix all the ingredients, so it gives the sourdough, it gives all those little organisms new stuff to start working on. So that helps it create air bubbles inside, and these will rise one more time before you bake them. So when you start out, you feed your starter, you let it start foaming, then you mix your dough together, you let it sit quite a while. You can let it sit overnight. And then you form your bread or your rolls, and then you let it sit again. And then you bake it. So it's not a whole lot of work, but it's spaced out over like 24 hours. All right, and I'm going to do my last one, and then we'll be done. All right, we're done. So I got 12 rolls here, and I got 24 rolls here. Like in my pan, I do 3 starting from this edge, and then 3 starting from this edge, and then 3 starting from that edge, and 3 starting from this edge. And then when you're finished, you actually end up with sort of these diagonal rows. But it really doesn't matter. You can fit them in there however you want. That's just the way I fit mine in there. Then I like to spray them a little bit. You can put butter on there if you want or whatever. But that just keeps them from drying out on the top. And then we cover them one more time. And we let them rise overnight. And then tomorrow they will be ready to bake. So it doesn't take very long. It is now 7:55. So I think what that took me like 10 minutes, something like that. So it's not a lot of work. It's just spread out over time. Then the next step is just put them in the oven and bake them. And then it smells so good. So that's it. That's the tricky part, making rolls. And I'll get a piece of parchment paper probably and cover this one and put a towel over it. Hope you enjoyed it, and tomorrow morning we'll bake them and then they'll be so tasty. See you later. Love you.